So I think it's about time we done an update on a popular video I made a couple months ago about a camera coming from the Netherlands called the Analogue AF-1. Super exciting new point-and-shoot film camera, supposed to hit the market pretty soon. Well, in this video, I've got an update on the timeline for the release of this new camera with some exclusive information provided by Analogue, only to me, apparently. So let's get into it. So what is the Analogue AF-1? I'm not going to bore you with all the details. I made a whole video about that after all, but it's a point-and-shoot film camera with a 35mm double Gauss prime lens, f2.8, and it was supposed to hit the market pretty soon. And a quick look at the camera shows that it's got a lot in common with popular point-and-shoot film cameras from the past, with some modern updates. One thing that's really exciting is the autofocus mechanism. It's going to be LiDAR based, so it should be really fast and accurate. It's also got a really good look. It's a super sleek, super sexy point-and-shoot camera. So it's got a lot of good things going for it. And when I made the video, it's actually one of the first videos that I've ever made that prompted a snarky response video from another YouTuber, promptly calling this camera a scam and accusing me and a couple of other YouTube creators that made videos about the camera of kind of, leading our audiences astray, so to speak. And we won't get bogged down in all those details, but I think it was worth pointing out that at least at this point, I've got some new information, and it seems like the new Analogue AF-1 is still on track. So let's talk about what they sent me. The email with the new information basically said this. They provided an updated timeline for the release of the Analogue AF-1, and they stated that December of 2024, which is already passed at this point, that was the development of prototype 1, so presumably, if they've sent me this email, that's already happened, we're squared away. As of January 25 until April of 2025, they were doing additional research and modifications to that model. That's already passed, so presumably this stage has been completed as well. And in May of 2025, they're working on prototype 2. May is over, I'm making this video in June, so presumably they have a working second prototype at this point. From May 25 until June of 2025, they're going to be working on modifications of that prototype. In July of 2025, they're going to be working on development prototype number 3. And presumably at this point, development prototype number 3 will be basically the final version, right? Everything should be all lined up at this point. All the kinks should be ironed out and things should be almost good to go. Because after that, from July of 2025 until September of 2025, they're in pre-production where they're actually creating the tooling, all the machines that they're going to use to produce these cameras, getting things in order there. From September 25 until November of 2025, a couple months there, you see, they're going to be producing the cameras, actually entering mass production. I don't know what that means. I don't know if we're talking about a couple thousand cameras or a couple 100,000 or a couple million cameras. I have no idea what their pre-orders look like. I wasn't provided that information, but it's from September 25 until November 25. That's when they're actually intending on making these cameras. And then from November 25 to December 25, they're going to start delivering the cameras that folks have pre-ordered. And one of the most interesting things about the Analogue AF-1 when the camera was announced was that really shocking, super cheap price. I think it was $300 and something. And we all knew at the time, they made this very clear, that that was the introductory pricing and that the pricing after that, pre-order phase would eventually increase. And they've provided me with what they intend to be the eventual price of the camera, which is 449 euros. Did a quick conversion to dollars and it's about $512. So it looks like the retail price of this camera, at least at this point with all the tariffs and all the craziness that's going on these days, is looking at about $500. So we've actually got a final price for the camera. If you want to buy one of these at this point, if you don't have your pre-order locked in, looking at about $500. As I've made it clear in this video, I have been in touch with Analogue and I've reached out and said, hey, look, as quick as you can get me one of these cameras, I'll be really excited. I think my audience would be really excited to see me get this camera out and test it out. Especially with all the controversy that kind of surrounded my last video, I think this would be a great channel to demo the new camera. So hopefully they continue to stay in touch and eventually I can get my hands on one of the new AF-1 cameras and let you guys know what I think. And what else really is there to say? This update wasn't perhaps the most exciting update of all time, but it is good to know that they're still working on the camera. Things are still moving forward, although it's going to be on a little bit of a delayed time scale. Price is going to be a little higher than we thought. The timeline's going to be just a little longer than we thought, but at the end of the day, the camera is coming. The fact that they're still communicating with everyone, the fact that they've not taken the money and ran, the fact that they seem to be on course to having us a camera in our hands sometimes, let's say early 2026, seems to indicate still not a scam. So I'll keep you guys updated with everything that I hear on the new camera. I think this represents one of the most exciting new film cameras to hit the market since perhaps the Pentax 17. It's not often these days that we get completely new film cameras to test out and shoot. Film photography is a hobby that's experienced a recent comeback, and for that comeback to continue on into the future, we're going to need new and exciting products. So hopefully this camera sees the light of day. I'm really excited about it if you didn't know. And if you thought this video was cool and you're interested to hear more about the Analogue AF-1, take a look at my original video where I went into all the minutiae, everything we know about the new camera. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.